as we speak.
Awesome.
Let's see. And then I have to go in here and mute it so that I better close this a little bit. If I can find the darn thing.
That is always the challenge, isn't it?
I know. I hope I put it in the right place. Oh, here it is. Hey, we're live. Okay. In here and mute it. We're 1 minute early.
Sorry.
I'm going to start recording. So let me do that right now. Record. It's time for another oily fireside chat. We are live on Facebook. So Tessa, you are able to share it if you want to share it.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Cool. So for those of you that are popping on and seeing us live, make sure you say hi. And I think it would be really fun to hear from you as you pop on tonight. It's September 1st. Are you happy that fall is here, or are you sad to say goodbye to summer? So for those of you watching the replay, I want to know that too. I am a fall gal, and I'm super excited for apple orchards and bonfires and scarves and needing blankets at night. I'm so happy I'm wearing my sweater tonight. It's like amazing.
I used to hate fall because like there doesn't seem to be anything fun to do in fall. When I was a kid growing up, fall was like you have to weed and till over the garden and you harvest stuff, and it was like hours upon hours of canning and pitting cherries and preserving stuff and picking up apples that fell on the ground. So like fall was always a super ton of work. And my birthday's in fall, and I could never have a birthday party because we were always doing fall stuff. And you can't have a birthday party, a sleepover on a school night. So I hated fall growing up. But now as an adult, I'm like, but I'm not so hot. I have to wear a tank top and short shorts every day, but it's not so cold that I'm freezing to death and can't go outside. And the leaves are pretty. And I like going out to my garden twice a day and grabbing fresh tomatoes and chives and jalapenos and green peppers and blackberries. And like now as an adult, I'm like, I think fall might be my favorite season.
Well, you're a converted fall lover.
I am converted. And buffalo plaid. I liked buffalo plaid before it was cool. So now it's like, this is the one season where I can wear it and not be a weirdo.
Yeah, I hear you there. You can wear the green buffalo plaid, not in fall, and have it be cool.
I don't like green.
No.
Or I should say green doesn't like me. I'm told I have an olive skin tone. Whatever that means. I look Mediterranean.
Oh.
I have no idea.
I don't know anything about that. So if someone who knows something about that told you that, they must be right.
I've had like 3 people tell me that, and I'm like, okay, that must mean something. I don't know.
Sue is watching us online, and she loves the fall weather. Sue, you are after my own heart. I love fall. In fact, I had to dig out my thieves and start diffusing that a little bit more religiously because I wanted it to smell like fall in the house. Oh, I see Luke. Hi, Luke. And I think Christmas spirit also smells a little bit like fall. So I have that diffusing right now, and I added a little lemon just for like a little touch of citrus to it. It smells pretty darn good. So I'm curious if anyone else is diffusing fall scents now because I can't get enough.
I am also diffusing Christmas spirit because it smells like fall. And I added some tangerine to it.
Oh, I'm going to have to try that.
And it is awesome. I mean, I have like all 12 of my diffusers going in the house, and not all fall scents. I just kind of pick them randomly, and it just smells so fabulous in this house right now.
Awesome.
We must have on like a leapfrog wavelength here because the two of you are diffusing Christmas spirit, but I've got overlap with Anne with the tangerine. I've got juniper and tangerine diffusing right now, so we're all on similar wavelengths with each other.
Well, the other day I diffused stress away. I did 3 drops of stress away, 3 drops of cinnamon, and 2 drops of nutmeg. And it smelled like those candles that say like Grandma's Kitchen or like Apple Crisp or something like that. It smelled really good. So that might become my new fall go-to for the kitchen. It was really good. Okay, so we should probably get going, but I could talk all night about diffusing oils. So we're talking about back to school with some Young Living products tonight. It's that time of year. My Facebook page was flooded with back to school pictures today. It was like the cutest thing. And back to school might look different this year for some people. So I think the stuff we're going to be talking about is helpful no matter whether your kids or loved ones are attending school in person or attending virtually. And for those of you on my page, I offered up a challenge to share our class in a private message with somebody that you think could really benefit from learning more about supporting their immune system naturally. I think with everything going on right now, the one thing we can control is support what we do to support our immune systems. And classes like this is the perfect way to get some of that knowledge in you. And we always say, if you know better, you can do better, right? So those goals that you have for building a toxin-free, all-natural home, if you are learning from us and other places, like, you can do that, and it's not that hard. So send a private message to a friend who you think could use it, and if they have questions, encourage them to reach out to any one of us, and we can definitely help. We love to help with that. Also, just a reminder, my obligatory disclaimer here that replays of our classes will be posted as public videos on YouTube. And none of us want anyone to feel uncomfortable with that. So if you would prefer not to be seen or heard on YouTube, it would be a good chance for you to mute or turn off your camera. If you want to join us, the more the merrier. So don't feel obligated, just want to make sure that everyone knows what we do with the recorded video. And then I talked about sharing privately, but it also helps our small business. If you share this video on your page, we're super passionate about getting oils in every home and teaching people what we know about essential oils and natural products. And we love it when you share. Plus, you're entered to win a prize, so that doesn't hurt. And I'm giving away the prize tonight. I'm going to show you what I have here because you're going to want it. So make sure you comment, and share. I'm putting in extra shares as an extra drawing, by the way. Okay. Do you see this calm sticker on my roller? It's amazing and it looks super professional. Well, I'm giving away the labels. This one, oh, you can't see it because it's white. It says sleep. I've got one that says calm. One that says glow, which would be great for a glow serum for your face. And then one that says happy. I'm envisioning joy and orange together for that one. And then when you find a roller blend that you love for one of these labels, you can put it on your roller. So that's the prize that I have tonight. Those of you who are live, make sure you're saying something so I can add you double to the prize wheel. I'll add Teresa and Emily here in a minute. And then we draw at the end.
Can I be added to the prize wheel? Because I some of those.
They're awesome. They're really pretty.
I'm here every week. I'm faithful. I should be on the prize wheel just once.
Well, we'll draw at the end. And if our winner's not here, Tess, you can claim the prize.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we're ready to kick it off, right? We told you what we're diffusing. So tell us in the comments what you're diffusing as we kind of gather our thoughts and get going. And then I'll turn the mic over to somebody else because I've talked long enough for a minute here. Who wants to go first? Tessa?
All right, I'll go first.
Okay, cool.
I'll go first. Okay, since we're talking about back to school, the one thing that I envisioned when we decided this was my grandkids and how excited they get when they get to do what's called a quick wash. And what that means is the Young Living has a product. It's called Thieves Hand Sanitizer. It comes in this little 1 ounce size, or it comes in this 7.6 ounce size, which I use to kind of refill this one as this one gets low for me. But what's so cool is, we can be out and about, where, I mean, we're all busy, but we can be out and about, and, there might not be something handy where you can wash your hands frequently. So this would be the next best thing. I myself even do this. And what I do is I actually have this little gadget attached to my keys. I'm one of those people that when I go shopping, and I'm not one that browses, I am to the store, I go in, I get my stuff, I leave the store. It's kind of a game with me where, okay, let's see how fast I can do this. I'm strange, I know, but that's just how I do it. So everything has to fit in my pockets. Okay, so I've got my keys, I've got my hand sanitizer. So this little deal fits very, very nicely in my little raccoon. Okay, so what I do is I stick my keys in my pocket, and my little raccoon is kind of hanging outside my pocket. So when I'm all done getting everything in the car, put my card away, all of that, on my way back to the car, I'm putting my hand sanitizer on. Now, when I get home, I get everything inside. First thing I do is I wash my hands, because now I can do that. Okay, so it's something that we've instilled in our grandkids. I'm a nanny full time right now, and so the 2-year-old, sometimes if we're out and about, I might have him use some of this, but we're kind of getting into that habit of, oh, we got to go inside, let's wash our hands, and sing the ABCs while we do it, whatever, however we can do it to make sure that it's more than 2 hot seconds under the water, and make sure they have plenty of soap. But so this is kind of that go-to when you don't have the soap and water handy. I love the fact that I can, without a shadow of a doubt, say, you know what, this is gonna cut it. 99.9% effective. Get rid of those germies. I talk in a little kids language, so germies, and let's get rid of the yuckies, and so it's really kind of cool. And having something like this, when you do care for children, they're going to be like, oh, what's this? And then they want to be able to use it as well. I love this because it's all natural. It doesn't have any of the synthetic additives to it. It's all plant-based. About 7 years ago for me, I determined that there were little bit too many toxins in my home, and came across Young Living and decided, you know what, I'm going to start removing some of those toxins from my home. And it's made a world of a difference for me in my home, as well as my daughter's home. And so it's just been really, really cool. And I have to say, I was very, very excited when Young Living came out with the bigger bottle of the hand sanitizer because it used to be only the 1-ounce size. So I was super excited when this came about. And if you were to ask my daughter, she would say, I'll take a gallon, please. So it's just fabulous stuff. And you can take it with you anywhere. Good for the classroom. You know, it's just great. You can take it with you. So I just love it.
The alcohol in there, I thought I read that it was denatured, right? Is that the right word? That it's not as drying to the skin because of the process that they make to the alcohol. So like when I put on this hand sanitizer is the first one I've ever used that doesn't flare up. I'll get like kind of a little eczema rash on my hands if I use any other hand sanitizer or even like our soaps at work. I'll get a flare up of it. And this is the first stuff that hasn't done it. And I think it has something to do with that alcohol. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, it does. It does. And it also has some aloe vera in it as well. So it doesn't leave any of that chemical residue behind. Just another quick little story is, I was able to get some of this hand sanitizer like for our church. And what's funny is, we have some other hand sanitizer that we used initially until we got this. And people are pushing that other stuff away because they don't like how it feels on their hands. They want this on their hands because they're like, oh, it's so soft and it dries so fast. And, and I'm like, I'm not saying one word, this is the feedback that I'm getting. And so I'm like, this is wonderful. Not only are we, instilling in our kids and our grandchildren that this is just a way that we can help to get rid of the germs on our hands, but also adults, they're getting super excited about it. And that's what we want. We want it to be in every home, no matter what product it is. So
I also want to just piggyback. You said something that really resonated with me about how 7 years ago you felt like there were too many toxins in your home and you were on a mission to swap them. I just want to personal testimony for me. I had completely revamped my diet as a way to help balance my hormones. I think I've shared my story about fertility struggles and ectopic pregnancy and hormone imbalance. And even just supporting the diet wasn't enough. So I started researching more about pseudoestrogens, and they can come so much in plastics in your home and in a lot of the chemicals in your soaps, your cleaners, your laundry detergent, your dryer sheets. And so even your toothpaste. So I started little by little swapping things. And when we talk about hormone balance, I went from cycles that were anywhere from 35 to 42 days. I didn't know 42 days is a long cycle. That's almost like 2 cycles in one. And I would be so bloated and just miserable for not just PMS, but just bloat and miserable because it was taking so long for my cycle to come. About 6 months after I swapped every toxin in my home, my cycle has started coming on 28 to 30 days like clockwork. This has never happened in my entire life, never. And now it's just so regular. It's like you can set your watch by it. And I believe that getting rid of those toxins was like the final push to really helping to balance those hormones because the diet helped. I believe the CBD is crucial to this as well. But I don't think I could have achieved it without also bringing in the natural alternatives to some of those chemicals and toxins. There are a lot of hormone impacting chemicals in that stuff, and you just have to Google pseudoestrogens and you will find a long list of stuff that I bet you turn over your cleaning product and it's listed there. So that's something I'm super passionate about.
It's funny to me how when you join the family of Oilers, all of your stories can be so different, but there seems to be this like common thread. Um, so like with Rose, her story is very different and yet very similar to mine at the same time. I was going through 6 years ago now. I was having extreme weight gain and insomnia and extreme anxiety. I went through depression so severe I almost committed suicide. I was put on a 72-hour suicide watch. I changed my diet because the doctors I had been going to were like, oh, well, what you're putting in your body matters. What you're putting in your body matters. You need to eat healthier. You need to clean up the gluten and the inflammatory foods and no dairy and no chocolate and no caffeine. And so all this stuff, I mean, I was on like this horrible, absolutely disgusting diet, and my body did feel better, but I still had all of these emotional issues. I could not get through this depression and anxiety and the insomnia. And so I started doing research on like toxins in your environment and like how important it is for not only changing your diet and all of the things that impact you internally in your diet, but also externally. And kind of the same as Rose, like, oh my word, this chemical causes this anxiety, and this chemical can cause these hormonal disruptors and these chemicals. And it was just crazy. Like, these are all cleaners I use in my work and at home, all over my house, and in my shampoos, in my toothpaste. And I was like, oh my word, who knew my toothpaste was causing depression, or my shampoo? You know, like, you don't associate that. So it's funny that like Oilers in our community, like our family, all kind of have this like common thread of like, yeah, I had this or this, which is different from you, but I found like all this extra help and support and maintaining better health through oils and Young Living products. I just love it. I think it's so cool.
I think when you've been impacted by the products, you can't help but be passionate about sharing them. And that's, I think, what drives us.
Yeah. And I think it's funny how we all teach to the thing that brought us most to oils. Like when I teach classes, I'm very much about emotions and how oils can impact how you feel about your day, how you start your day, how you go through your day, stay energized throughout your day, and how you sleep at night. Because that's what really hit home for me, and going chemical free and eliminating toxins from your home. And Rose is very passionate about the fertility and the more women's issues and stuff. And Anne's got a whole repertoire of things as a grandma, as a mom, as a nanny, as a pastor's wife. I mean, she's got like all these areas where she's passionate about things. A personal trainer and marathon runner. I mean, like Anne's got the whole gambit. But we all bring something unique to the family. Like we all have value and we all have worth in our own unique ways. And I just love it. I love this family.
Awesome.
All
That's
right,
awesome.
now that we're like totally off topic, I'll talk
Yeah.
about what I'm supposed to talk about tonight. All right, so I'm discussing mask sprays because with going back to school, at least in our school district and in our state, masks are required. So I want to start with a disclaimer that these sprays are not intended to kill germs. They are not meant to increase the effectiveness of the mask or to prevent anyone from getting sick. According to the FDA, I cannot claim any of those things. I am not a healthcare professional. I am in no way trying to represent myself as a healthcare professional. I'm only sharing my personal experiences, and please always check with your doctor before trying anything new. So there's my disclaimer. So essential oil, thanks. Essential oils inhaled through the nose can affect emotions, mood, motivation, and focus. The sense of smell is called olfaction and is executed by the olfactory system in your body. The olfactory receptors are stimulated by an aroma such as an essential oil. Adding oils to your mask will help get the molecules directly into your olfactory system, which communicates with the feelings area of your brain. In other words, essential oils can make you happy. Who doesn't want happy kids, right? Happy kids, happy wife, happy life. So my generic, like the general base for all the mask sprays that I've made for myself and other people You take a 2-ounce glass spray bottle. It has to be glass. Plastic, if you put citrus oils in there, it can erode the plastic. So grab a 2-ounce glass spray bottle. Amazon's got them for super cheap. You can get a whole bunch of them. I do 1/4 of a cup of witch hazel, and it has to be witch hazel with no aloe or alcohol added to it, because you really don't want to be breathing in that alcohol. That would be bad. You can do like 1/8 of a cup with hazel and 1/8 of a cup distilled water. Make sure it's the distilled water and not tap water, because that affects the shelf life. Also, you don't want to be breathing in, if your city chlorinates or puts fluoride in the water, you don't want to be breathing that in. So make sure it's distilled water. I'm the quick and easy mama. I don't have a ton of time. I just do the 1/4 of a cup witch hazel and call it good. And then you get to do your oils of choice. So one of the combos I really like is 10 drops of rosemary and 10 drops of lemon. Lemon is really uplifting and energizing, and it's a natural cleanser. I also like doing 10 drops of orange and 10 drops of peppermint. Peppermint has really cooling properties for the skin. So in summertime, when you're wearing that really hot mask, having that peppermint to create that cooling feeling is so nice, especially if you have to wear your mask outside. It's also great for helping you feel energized, and it helps promote clear breathing. Peppermint can also freshen your breath. So if you spray it on the inside of the mask, it's like having external mouthwash that you breathe in. How cool is that? 2 in 1. All right, so another combo I like is 10 drops of eucalyptus and 10 drops of bergamot. Eucalyptus is really good for helping with the airways and respiratory system. Bergamot is known for easing stress, and it helps reduce feelings of anxiety. Bergamot also has soothing and calming properties for your skin, and your skin can kind of tend to get irritated from coming in contact with the cloth masks for a long period of time. Bergamot has also has similar cleansing properties to lemon, and it is currently being studied for its effect on promoting positive workplaces. So if you're going to work, and obviously school is kind of like a workplace, I mean, who wouldn't want a positive school environment or work environment? So when you make these masks, mask sprays, make sure that you shake it every time before you spray it, because sometimes the witch hazel and the oils can kind of like separate a little bit. Not like oil and water separate, but the witch hazel kind of separates a little bit. So just shake it up real good. Spray it on the inside and the outside. The inside is for your benefit of the oils with that olfactory system, and the outside is to benefit others around you. But honestly, the combination of essential oil benefits are endless. A few other options that are really good. Lavender promotes feelings of relaxation and vitality. It supports a healthy immune function and protects from seasonal threats, and it can ease feelings of stress and tension. It is also great to soothe irritated skin that rubs against the face mask. Thieves we've talked about tonight, and Teresa said it was one of her favorite oils to use all the time. So Thieves is great to cleanse and purify the air, and it boosts your immune system, and it protects against environmental threats. Take that as you will. Raven may help maintain clear airways, and it eases breathing, and it minimizes the effects of seasonal threats. Some people talk about having difficulty breathing through their masks, especially like a couple workplaces around here, it has to be 3 layers thick. So if you're struggling to get decent breaths, Raven, we talked about this in a previous Oily Fireside chat as well. Rose loves putting Raven on her chest before a workout because it just really opens everything up. So same thing, a mask spray with Raven just really opens up the airway really nice. Stress Away promotes feelings of peace and tranquility and reduces your stress throughout the day. It's a great option for stressful work environments or school environments, and it's great for people who have sensory issues. We have 2 kids in our neighborhood who have a lot of like sensory like different clothing on their skin really rubs them wrong. Having like her hair in her face is just like, it's super distracting and she can't focus at all. So like having to wear a mask for 8 hours at school, her mom is just like really freaking out that she's not going to be able to handle this very well. So Stress Away in that mask can really help with like the sensory issues and just relieve a little bit of that stress and anxiety. Harmony is a really great one for easing stress, and it helps create a sense of balance and camaraderie among peers. Envision elevates your mood and helps create a positive and energizing environment. Citrus Fresh helps reduce stress and creates an energizing and uplifting mood, and it cleanses and purifies the air. I have a lot of these. I have a lot of mask spray recipes. Can you tell I like this topic? Motivation eases feelings of frustration at work and school, and it helps to promote feelings of confidence, courage, and belief. So if you're not super confident or courageous going into the first day of school or the first week of school, by all means, motivation. Valor would be another really good one for that as well. Peace and calming, that promotes feelings of peace, reassurance, and contentment. Some kids are not very content with going back to school. Tea tree also helps with acne breakouts from wearing a mask. That one you'll definitely want to pair with a more pleasant smell, such as lavender or citrus oil, as tea tree isn't the greatest smelling oil we've got. A nice side note, having that mask up against your face all day, you may want to encourage kiddos to use Thieves toothpaste and Thieves mouthwash to prevent bad breath stinking up the mask, because 8 hours of a bad breath on a fabric mask is going to be an awful combo. Some parents have been concerned about their tweens, preteens, teens, those going through the awkward stage of life, about getting maskne. I didn't know this was a term until recently. Wearing a mask can irritate your skin, which can lead to really bad acne in that specific area. So be sure that you thoroughly clean your skin after wearing a mask, especially for a prolonged period of time. We've got some beautiful face wash combos. I love the Orange Blossom face wash. There's the Art Cleanser, and we just released a Bloom Cleanser with Conference back in July. Make sure you follow it up with a toner like the one from our Art Skincare line. And if the acne is really bad and it persists, Young Living has a wonderful toxin-free acne treatment gel that you can put on at night. So if that wasn't enough cool stuff, I've got a bonus round, because gym class and athletics are coming up. The EWC is allowing our students in Wisconsin to start their athletic competitions next week or the week after. So stinky shoes is becoming a problem for some of my friends. So I looked up some recipes for stinky shoes. So I've got 2 of them. You'll again need, this one calls for a 4-ounce spray bottle, but you could just cut the recipe in half if you want. So you need 2 ounces of distilled water, 2 ounces of witch hazel, and then one recipe is for 8 drops of tea tree, 8 drops of peppermint, and 8 drops of lavender. Throw it all in there. Or if you want to go the quick and easy mom route, you can just do 20 to 24 drops of purification, depending upon the stench of your kids' tennies.
We actually use that, and we have a truck camper, which doesn't have a lot of space. And we have a little bin where we put our shoes, because we have hiking boots and working boots and sandals. And after you're hiking, and then you just throw all your shoes in that bin, they don't get to air out very good. So I've done the purification to keep the scent at bay in our camper, and it works really great. I didn't believe it would necessarily, because they were pretty stinky, but it worked awesome.
Awesome. Good deal.
And if any of you are going to make some of Tessa's recipes, she mentioned some uplifting ones. She mentioned some chill out ones. You can use these labels on your spray bottles too, that if you win a prize, you can use to kind of label your stuff and remember what's what. I am talking tonight about oils for back to school. And as we talked about what topics we each wanted to grab, I know I've mentioned diffusing Genius quite a bit lately in my diffuser as I'm working. I've been mixing it with lemon and it smells great. By the way, I still have to research this, but I watched another woman's video talking about working from home and tips to stay productive. And she had found a study that had showed that diffusing lavender could reduce your number of mistakes that you make when you are at work. So I want to look that up because I'm curious about it. But anyway, so that's why I started adding lemon to a bunch of things up here in my office. So I got to thinking though about, especially about kids and how, well, really anyone in general can react so differently to oils. So an oil that might work really awesome for something for me may not work as great for Tessa, for example, and she might, sleep. Maybe cedarwood works awesome for me, doesn't work so hot for Tessa, and she prefers Valor or lavender or something like that, right? So instead of focusing on one oil, I wanted to talk more high level about, there's a lot of people using oils to support their health, and just maybe some tips for how you can use those oils day to day, geared maybe a little bit more towards kids where they probably aren't going to be taking, a bottle of oil into the classroom, right? We want to be really careful about having our, especially younger kids, being the ones who decide how much oil they put on, right? If you've ever watched them pour a glass of milk right to the tippy top, like you're not sure that you want to, first of all, it might not be safe, but second of all, we don't want to waste that much oil, right? So, and the kids might not even be allowed to have the oils in their school or classroom. So first of all, if oils are helpful to your kids and you want them to be able to apply them topically throughout the day, you can, just some tips for you. You could talk with the school nurse, see if she would be willing or he would be willing to kind of hold on to your kids' oils so that they could go, down to the nurse's office a couple times a day and get whatever oils they need applied to them. You can use the benefits of the oils in a mask spray, like Tessa just talked about, right? So don't underestimate if your kids need a little focus. Cedarwood, frankincense, highest potential, believe is a great blend of brain oils. I think there's one, brain power. In a spray, it's going to be diluted and they can be kind of wafting it in, similar to if you're diffusing that in their study area. For kids who are a little bit anxious about returning to school or nervous, Valor might be something great. So think about the benefits you want your kids to have, as you are potentially creating that mask spray. And Tessa gave you probably 100 recipes tonight. Like, that's awesome. But you can create your own, right? Like, just think about, hey, I want my kid to be alert, but also kind of chill. I know peppermint works. I know lavender works. I'll do a blend of peppermint and lavender, right? Like, it doesn't have to be super complicated to get oils into our daily routine. So I just want to remind you how simple it can be to do some of that stuff. Other simple ways to get your kids to use oils and experience the benefits during a school day, or teachers as well, or those of us going to work. Diffuser beads, those lava beads on like a bracelet, or they put them on necklaces as well. You can get diffuser necklaces. Just put a drop on there and the kids will think it's super great to just get to take a whiff of, peace and calming or valor or whatever it is. And also I have heard from multiple sources that when you're studying for an exam, if a kid is studying for an exam and they're diffusing, say, lavender while they're studying, or lemon, I think is the one that they suggest, while they're studying, you could put lemon, in a diffuser necklace the day of the test, and they can connect the scent with the memory of studying for the test, and it can help their recall on the exam. So the other thing to remember is a lot of people put oils on the bottoms of their kids' feet at night, but you can do it before they go to school for the day. So, don't think that oils are only for before they go to bed at night. You can use a lot of these kind of focus and brain oils like frankincense, cedarwood, highest potential, believe, genius, and you can concentrate them on the big toe because that has a connection to the brain. So don't forget about, and we always want to diffuse for younger kids, right? Or dilute for younger kids. Don't forget about putting them on the bottom of your kids' feet before they go to school. It's not just a nighttime thing. And I think some people just get in the habit of, we just do this before bed and forget that that can be part of a morning routine as well. Also, don't neglect a drop on the head. I brought it up a few weeks ago and I totally forgot about it, but one of these weeks I would love for us to do a class on frequencies. Oils have a frequency, and when you're using high frequency oils, especially a drop on the crown of your head here, you're helping to raise the frequency of your body. And a lot of diseases, sickness, ailments occur when your body's frequency drops below a certain level. And so, to just help support that immunity, um, a drop of oil on the head is amazing. Plus, it's right there by your brain. So that's awesome. And it kind of stays in your hair. So as you're like, the kids are moving around and playing at recess, I notice it at work. You know, I go to put my hair back up in a ponytail and it's like, ooh, I can smell that peace and calming now. It smells really great, you know. Um, of course, a roller bottle in an older kid's purse or backpack. I'm not sure that the younger kids are going to be able to have these roller bottles, but your middle school to high school kids, they are probably responsible enough to handle a roller. um, and then I just want to also urge you to think about the emotion oils like Tessa mentioned, things like stress away, peace and calming, lavender, envision, motivation, inspiration. Don't overlook those emotion oils, the ones that are so good for supporting your emotions, because kids go through it too. And so just think about bringing some of those into your kids' routine, maybe with some of these tips. Um, but also alternate the oils, right? Don't do cedarwood every single day. Alternate every few days and try frankincense for a while. Ask your kid how they work. See if they notice a difference in their day, and find a good combination that works, either for you as a teacher, as someone going back to work, as someone helping your kids with virtual learning. Just lots of things that you can do with your oils. So again, tonight I didn't want to talk too much about individual oils, but more about just a reminder of how to kind of get them incorporated into your routine. Hopefully some of this was helpful for you. That's all we have, right?
One other thing, if your girl doesn't want to wear a lava bead bracelet or you don't have one, I've noticed that scrunchies are coming back in style. And so sometimes I actually will put oils on my scrunchie. So either the one in my hair, or I've been noticing that a lot of high schoolers walking home from school have them as bracelets, like they're just wearing them on their wrist. So you could just, on whatever scrunchie she's wearing that day, just drop some oils on there and she could smell it that way too.
That's a great idea. And also smartwatches, a lot of them have mesh bands. So you could put a drop on the mesh band or a spray on the mesh band, right? And then have it kind of dispersed a little bit more. Okay. Should we do our prize?
Yes. I have 2 people watching live right now.
Okay.
Can you add Andrew to the prize wheel and Jasmine to the prize wheel?
Yes, I've got everyone else added here. Let me. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see our prize wheel. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay. Emily, shoot. I don't have your address, I don't think. So shoot me a message with your address or have Tessa give it to me. These are awesome. I don't know if you can see them. You're going to love them. They're super pretty. Now I got to figure out how to stop sharing my screen. Oh, there we go. I forget like every time. Okay, well, that's a wrap for our Oily Fireside chat for this week. Share our video, you guys, because we shared a lot of really, really great info. If you're watching the replay, just hit share right now and post it on your page. It means a lot to us, and someone out there might really benefit from what we shared tonight. And other than that, I guess we'll see you next year or next week. Same place, same time, right here.
Have a beautiful Labor Day weekend, everybody.
Yes, I'm super excited. Have a good weekend.
Yes.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.